Hey guys, you're back with me, Jimmy B. Wow. You guys are missing.
Keep coming. something happen. Can't keep my hands off you. Can't keep my hands off you. Can't keep my hands off you. There's something happen. Can't keep my hands off you. Can't keep my hands off you. Can't keep my hands off you. There's something happen. Anything you want me to, I can't keep my hands off you. There's something happen. There's something happen. Anything you want me to, I can't keep my hands off you. There's something happen. And so I don't know why. It doesn't matter how hard I try, I can't wake up to survive. There's something happen. Oh, baby, I think of you, my heart is on the line. Oh, baby, I can't with you, my mind feels so fine. There's something happen. Anything you want me to, I can't keep my hands
birthday shout-outs very shortly. Just stick with me for about another 10 minutes or so.
someone that will be there for you. Out of all the love you tried, you thought you'll never find a man that make you feel good. But don't you worry, I will never cause you pain. No, no, no. When it's late at night and you want me by your side, just call on my name. I got what you're looking for. Whoa, baby, I got what you need. I got what you're looking for. You don't have to worry, 'cause I got what you need. I got what you're looking for. Whoa, baby, I got what you need. I got what you're looking for. You don't have to worry, 'cause I got what you need. I got what you're looking for. Whoa, baby, I got what you need. I got what you're looking for. You don't have to worry, 'cause I got what you need. I got what you're looking for. Whoa, baby, I got what you need. I got what you're looking for. Whoa, baby.
Right, let's try and get a few shout-outs done. Andy Hughes, Derek Floyd, John Watts, Scott Beatty, Lisa McCleary, Stephen Crawford, Michelle Crawford, Junkin, Gemma Morrison, Stephen Swinburne, Gary Gibney, Stephen Lee Sonic, Nikki Wilson, shout out to Fiona, shout out to Caroline McKenzie.
How many nights have you cried yourself to sleep? There's no one that you trust to share all your love, so you'd rather be alone.
Wow, it's roasting in here tonight.
If you give me a chance, 'cause I got just what you need. You never have to win, I'll always be right here. Just put your trust in me. I got what you're looking for. Oh, baby, I got what you need. I got what you're looking for. You don't have to worry, 'cause I got what you need. Oh, baby, I got what you need. You don't have to worry, 'cause I got what you need.
Try and get a few more shout-outs done. Debbie White, Arlene McKenzie, Andy Hughes, Sonia Wilson, Lisa McCleary, Bill Lynch as well, Derek Floyd, Daz McGregor, Darren Clancy, Leon Knox, Paul Allen, Elizabeth Carson, Gary Gibney, Christy Faulkner, Louis Lafferty, Jimmy Lee Ramage, Gemma Morrison, Jerry Malloy, Renata. Billy McNabb. Shout out to you. See you on Friday. Hey guys, don't forget this Friday. Catch me in Kitty's. In Fife, in Kirkcaldy. This Friday night. It's WFG. Nicola Maxwell, shout out to you.
Beginning there was Jack, and Jack had a groove, and from this groove came the grooves of all grooves. And while one day viciously throwing down on his box, Jack boldly declared, "Let there be house," and house music was born. I am, you see, I am the creator, and this is my house. And in my house, there is only house music. But I am not so selfish, because once you enter my house, it then becomes our house and our house music. And you see, no one man owns house, because house music is a universal language spoken, understood by all. You see, house is a feeling that no one can understand really unless you're deep into the vibe of house. House is an uncontrollable desire to jack your body. And as I told you before, this is our house and our house music. And every house, you understand, there is a people. And in this house, the people is Jack. Now some of you might wonder who is Jack and what is it that Jack does. Jack is the one who gives you the power to jack your body. Jack is the one who gives you the power to do things. Jack is the one who gives you the key to the wiggly worm. Jack is the one who learns you how to walk your body. Jack is the one that can bring nations and nations of all jackals together under one house. You may be black, you may be white, you may be Jew or Gentile. It don't make a difference in our house. And this is fresh.
Out on the shore road doing deliveries, enjoying the tunes. Shout out to Tina, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Fergus Gorman, shout out to you. Absolutely love this one. DJ Shah and Hi. Guys, just want to thank every single person that made it to Platinum Nightclub on Saturday night. You guys were absolutely awesome. The loyals were out in force.
Every beat of a heart will treasure. Let the rhythm be your guide. Lift you high. Lift you high. Lift you high.
And a massive, massive thank you to Christina Holloway and her husband for travelling 500 miles to come and see me on Saturday night. Now that's what you call loyalty. Thank you so much. Much, much appreciated. Hope you had a great night. And I hope to see you again soon. And a massive thank you as well to Platinum Nightclub for taking care of us. Second to none, absolutely. Treated like royalty when I walked in the door. Unreal. Thank you so much. I will hopefully see you soon again, guys. Massive thank you to John and the team at Platinum Nightclub. And of course, Team Euphoria. Massive shout out to you guys. Massive shout out to our dancers as well. Impact, Atomic. Shout out to Jamma as well. Shout out to Jimmy Rollins, Leanne, and Little Rio. Not forgetting Stephen Crawford and also Michelle Crawford, traveling from Air. I say Lift you high. Yeah, shout out to Doug Marson. Shout out to Danielle Dominic. Sorry, Stephen, from Kilmarnock. Still, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Guys, don't forget, I do have CDs on sale now. Volume 5 on sale. So anybody looking at this CD, not the download, get in contact with me after the show.
I'm keeping on with my words so strong, pure perfection from beginning to the end. I'm here once again, blow your mind with the rock in front. I'm keeping on with my words so strong, pure perfection from beginning to the end. I'm here once again, keeping on with my rock in front. I'm keeping on with my
Yeah, guys, talking about air. Don't forget the 22nd of June. Catch me in Arthur's Kitchen. Myself and Nova Scotia. And of course, Dean Burnett, the resident DJ down there. Great DJ as well. That's the 22nd of June, Arthur Street Kitchen. Love to see us all there. Got loads and loads and loads coming up in the next month or so as well. Catch me in the warehouse in Galashiz on the 2nd of March. Really, really looking forward to that one. That's for Frequency Live, myself and DJ Kuda, the original in-trance DJ.
No, 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 no. 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 Get up! If you feel sad and lonely, and you got nothing to do, I know the feeling, baby, baby. I know what's good for you. Na 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 na, yeah yeah. Na 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 na, yeah yeah. Now I'm all filled with emotion. Get back out now, 'cause I'm in it too deep.
Cheers, Daz McGregor. You're an absolute legend, mate.
Get up and moving to the beat. Tap your hands, wear it loose, not enough. Give it juice, so everybody. Yeah, everybody. Love a crowd, get 'em ripped, get 'em rowdy, everybody. Kicking in the beat, you feel sad and lonely. Kicking in the beat, and you got nothing to do. Kicking in the beat, I know the feeling, baby, baby. I know what's good for you.
gigs as well coming up over here in Belfast for my home posse. So for you can catch me in Sailorstown on the 30th of March. I've also got another one on that night as well. I will let you know about it very, very soon. Also, don't forget, you can catch me in Industry in Enniskillen on the 16th of this month. 16th of February, catch me in Enniskillen in Industry nightclub. Played this one in ages.
Don't know if you know,
Sunset Brothers.
but I think
I'm feeling it.
you should. Tell me yes or other. Tell me we can make this thing tonight.
Shout out to Mary Gorey,
Feel a change
Kylie Black,
in the air.
The Dance Fairy, Stephen Swinburne, Gary Gibney. Shout out to Mel Mack, David Lee Sonic.
You ready? 'Cause I couldn't be
Are you feeling it?
right now.
I'm feeling it.
See if you know it. Should be with me until the end of time. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the change. I'm feeling it in the air. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the change. I'm feeling it in the air. So let the other way.
favourites from QFX, Virtual Reality. Sir Louise, shout out to you.
Artificial intelligence, life, or system.
Tamra Shaw, Susan Kirkwood, Denise Hutchison, Billy Todd as well. Linda McCurney, Carla McGugan, Vicky Rothman, Johnny Morgan, shout out to Lee Parker as well tonight.
Get busy, just say that booty don't stop when the beat drop. Just keep swinging it, get jiggy. Get drunk, stop percolate, anything you want for call it oscillate. If I don't take pity, want to see you get locked on the rhythm of my ride and my lyrics up about electricity. Girl, nobody can do you nothing cause you don't know your destiny. Yo, sexy ladies want war with us, and now they care with us, them not war with us. Inna the club, them want flex with us, they get next with us, and not vex with us. From the day my band like I'm a flame, girl, I call my name, and it is my fame. It's all good, girl, turn me on, till I earn them on. Let's get it on, let's get it on, till I earn them on. Girl, it's all good, just turn me on. Don't sweat it, don't get agitated, girl, walk out, take off anything you want, you know you must get it. Come in my mission, don't ease the tension, girl, run the program, just walk with it. Now have a good time, girl, free up on your mind, cause nobody can let your man won't let it. Cause you are the number one, girl, wave your hand, make them see the wedding band. Yo, sexy ladies want bar with us, inna the car with us, them not war with us. Inna the club, them want flex with us, to get next to us, them not vex with us. From the day my band like I'm a flame, girl, I call my name, and it is my fame. It's all good, girl, turn me on, till I earn them on. Let's get it on, let's get it on, till I earn them on. Girl, it's all good, just turn me on. Come on, get busy, just shake that booty non-stop. When the beat drop, just keep swinging it, get jiggy. Get drunk, up, percolate, anything you want, we call it oscillate. If I don't take pity, want to see you get locked in the rhythm of my ride and my lyrics up about electricity. Girl, nobody can do you nothing cause you don't know your destiny. Yo, sexy ladies want war with us, inna the car with us, them not war with us. Inna the club, them want flex with us, to get next to us, them not vex with us. From the day my band like I'm a flame, girl, I call my name, and it is my fame. It's all good, girl, turn me on, till I earn them on. Let's get it on, let's get it on, till I earn them on. Girl, it's all good, just turn me on. Yo, shake that thing, miss, shake that thing, yo, and I better shake that thing, miss, yo, miss, Judy, and the one name Rebecca, yo, shake that
to see you're not alone. Wait till the end of time for you. Open your mind. Surely the time to be with me. Baby, join me in there. Baby, join me in there. Baby, join me in there. Baby, join me in there.
Shout out to Clutter Saunders, shout out to Tina, Johnny Floyd. Donna Drybar, how you doing? 18 minutes to go here tonight. About 3 or 4 songs left. This one from Bean and Sarah's. One of my favourites from back in the day. I think it's about 2001, 2002. This is called Lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
Elizabeth Carson. Mary Corey, cheers. Thanks guys for all your compliments tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show as much as I did. Playing some of my favourite tunes from back in the day.
Lifestyle.
It's on next bit.
Make some noise!
Guys, I meant to do this earlier on. Only I got carried away with myself. Right, 2 tickets to be won for Friday night, Kitties and Kirkcaldy and Fife. I'm going to give them away in about 5 minutes or so. Just going to pick someone random. team, myself and Nova Scotia on the remix. Music Matters. Right, this one's for Laura Harris and Wee Kelly. Right, the first person to type. You have a heart of gold. First person to type in, I want to win 2 tickets. The Kiddies will win 2 tickets. The Kiddies.
Justify your love. It hurts to see you walk away, and I'd like to ask you back to stay, to hold you in my arms.
Chloe Lafferty, you just won yourself 2 tickets. The Kiddies on Friday night. Well done to you. You were the first person. Guys, don't forget to go to do another 2 tickets on Thursday night as well. 9. So make sure you stay tuned. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Are you ready? Don't forget, our album will be out in about 3 or 4 weeks' time. There's going to be 15 tracks on it. And from now until it is released, I'm going to start teasing you with some of our original stuff that we have done on every show. We also have a few remixes by some of our top producers at the moment. Many thanks to them guys for doing the remixes of our tracks as well. Of course, big congratulations to Chloe Lafferty for winning 2 tickets for Friday night in Kitty's in Kirkcaldy and Fife for HWFG. Anybody wants to say what it is, feel free to do so. Just that on her. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Are you ready? One more tune, one for the road, as we're saying. I say thanks to every single one of you for tuning into the show tonight. You've been absolutely amazing. It's been absolutely amazing doing the show as well. You guys have been awesome. Thanks every single person who shared. Shout out to Craig Johnston. Thanks for coming on Saturday night, mates. Gonna leave you with this one from Jamma Stevenson. This is Rise.
My head gets into a mess. I don't know how to fix it. I have no reason to be ashamed, 'cause I know we all go through it. And I know I'm a lucky one. I have all the ones around me. I know they care. They're always there. 'Cause I'm strong no matter what. I can do it. I can do it.
Wow, this is giving me flashbacks from playing this one. Standing beside JPS. And everybody in Platinum was singing the song. It was absolutely amazing. Well done. Take a bow, Jamma Stevenson. This is absolutely awesome.
And I'll show you how to do it. Don't let the demons in your head.
Of course, Outforce as well, and Mecca for producing it.
I'm gonna rise.
Where the party at?
all I got time for here tonight. Thanks every single one of you. You've been absolutely awesome as always. Thanks for tuning in. Good night.